Nice and quick as well from Ingram. Looked dangerous there, but didn't come up with a score. 4:20 on the clock. The Korean just having his foot tapped there again by Joe Ingram as they move to the far side of the mat. That's a good score. Yuko almost Wazari just couldn't get enough of the scoring part of Ingram's body on the mat, but a nice makikomi from the South Korean. Just throws the arm over. There it goes. Ooh, close to Wazari. Yuko is the score though. It's on the board now. A little over a minute left to go. As they are back in the middle of the tatami now, with Mr. Anwar trying to get both fighters to relax. Both fighters pick up a warning for failing to take proper kumikata. It's the first time I have seen a similar penalty to that during this time. During these 3 days, I've seen one other penalty like that, but normally the gripping's very, very good. They just look a little bit tense here. You can imagine with so much at stake. It's not surprising. I thought about the Yoko Sotemiwaza there, did Ingram, but it didn't come off. And he still trails by Yuko with 3:55 on the clock. There won't be any warnings or penalties here because both fighters are being invited to take a grip. Just that one Yuko on the board at the moment as a result of the makikomi from Che Guang-gyen about 35 seconds ago. The referee calls Hajime, and they move slowly over towards the far side and almost countered there. Ingram's got some good awareness, and it's the counters that appear his best bet. I think he countered with Uranagi a couple of times in his opening contest. 3:47 left to go. Needs to generate a bit of offense though, does Ingram. He's a Yuko down, trailing by that one score. The referee has them back in the middle of the mat, just trying to relax them a little bit, and then he calls Hajime and we get back underway. And almost another counter there from Ingram. That's the pattern of the contest. Che Guang-gyen attacking first, and then Ingram coming up with the counters. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Still the Yuko lead to the Korean in the blue judogi. Ingram with the very, very close cut here. Must have used a number 1 when he went to the barber there. Che Guang-gyen just a little bit shorter in the blue judogi. And they move this time to the far side towards the left corner, and that will do for Wazari this time. Same technique, makikomi, trapping the left sleeve of Ingram with the right hand. That's what the Korean has managed to do successfully on 2 occasions now. And then step across with his left leg. There's the trapping of the sleeve at the elbow with the right hand. And he's done that on a couple of occasions now, and leading by Wazari. Yuko in there as well. So 2 scores on the board for the Korean. Joe Ingram with a bit of work to do now as they move towards the far side of the competition area. He goes for the makikomi again. He hasn't been able to get off that yet. And he's going to have to think quickly about how he may be able to avoid getting caught here. Both fighters taking the opportunity to do up their judogi now. Full works with the belt coming undone and then back round the waist a couple of times, then tying it up in that special type of judo knot. Referee just wanting them to make sure that the belts are done tightly before he brings them back to stand almost toe to toe. Gets them to take a grip, and a grip where either fighter has an advantage over the other before he calls hajime, which he does now when we're back underway with a little over 3 minutes left to go. Ingram pressing forward, the Korean backing up towards the edge of the mat. Ingram looking now for a sacrifice throw, the tomoinagi, but it doesn't come off, and he isn't able to work anything there in newaza. He tries the turnover, and now that's a little bit better. Here comes an opportunity. The Korean blocks that with a strong right leg, and then Ingram decides to stand up. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left to go. Plenty of time on the clock, and there should be no panic here. I'm sure Jean-Paul Bell is shouting that out to Joe Ingram. Don't panic, take your time, look at the clock. The clock now that you've got to look at. Che Guang-Guen scored those 2 scores pretty early. If you can avoid being scored on again, there's a chance that maybe the Korean isn't super fit, and Ingram can come back into this. The other difficulty is to make sure that you avoid getting thrown. Can't afford to go over for Wazari now. That will end the contest. There's already 1 on the board. Here comes Ingram again, left-sided with that Tsunagi. Not quite as strong or as dangerous looking as the first attempt. It really did look quite spectacular. Maybe we'll see it again. 2.5 minutes left to go. This is in the under 100 kilo category. We've already seen a win for brother Sam Ingram in the under 90 kilo category. Let's see if we can join him in that semi-final stage. Now a chance for Che Guang-Guen to attack in newaza. Let's see what Ingram's defense is like, but we won't have a chance because the referee's called mate, as he suspected that wasn't going to develop into anything, and stands the fighters back up. And a huge ippon on mat number 2. Hyoge Lencina of Argentina has thrown Julian Roberto Santos of Brazil for ippon with Teguruma. That was a huge Teguruma down there on mat number 2. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to go here. The Korean attacking, and another nice effort. It's the real, that's where he's strongest. Joe Ingram is really strong at the counters, and as soon as the Korean put in an attack, there looked like a chance for a counter. There, he hasn't been able to deal with the makikomi. That's the problem. That's the one that's had him going over on 2 occasions. Just beginning to wonder if the Korean is aware of that, and maybe he'll go back to that particular throw. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. They're standing in the middle of the map with the referee just getting them ready just to restart, and just making sure that the hands are not too tense. Just wants them to relax a little bit. He calls the Jimmy now, and we get back underway. The Korean breaks up the grip and has got the hand only on one side of the gi. And now both hands are on, and he does go over to that Makikomi. It's a left-sided Makikomi that he tries, but it's unsuccessful. And now Ingram looking to work in Nivaza and decides against it. There's a minute 43. Maybe Somerville should be, Jean-Paul Bell should be shouting that out, just letting him know that there's still time. He could have worked a little bit more there in the Nivaza if he feels confident. It's not gone yet. There's still that opportunity to work on the ground. Well, they've had some instructions from the commission, and those were communicated to the referee by Gary Berliner, the referee in the near left side corner judge's chair. But no issue of any warnings. Maybe he's just having a talk with both fighters and letting them know without having to issue any warning. Anyway, he's communicated whatever it was to them, and we're back underway. A minute and 40 odd seconds left to go. There was the attempted Taniotoshi that was almost there from Ingram. You can see it taking shape, but he hasn't quite been able to bring it off. Minute 35 left to go. Che Guang-Guen has also got to be careful, because he needs to keep up his own rate of attacks. Can't sit back with that lead. Rosari would tie things up for Joe Ingram if he could pull one out of the bag from here. They're on the right side of the map as they come back to the middle now. And there goes Ingram with the Ippon Seoinage, but he loses contact with the hands. He's got a really, really nice entry. It's a terrific looking entry. It looks so so big. That's a terrific entry. If he hadn't lost contact with the hands, I think Che would have been flying. That's twice that he's come in with that really big Seoinage entry. But it's the Makikomi that he can't keep off. Another Yuko goes in the board. It's the third time that technique has scored against Ingram, and that's a pity that he hasn't been able to deal with it. The Korean on the attack, extending his lead now. The difficulty for Ingram with that score is that even if he scores Wazari, he'd still be behind. So he's up against it now, and we're inside the last minute. 56 seconds remain on the clock. Joe Ingram up against Che Guang-Guen of the Republic of Korea. Referee calls Hajime, and we get back underway with Ingram pressing forward. Just a little foot sweep there, and there goes the Makikomi attempt again. Another Yuko. He just can't cope with that coming from the left side, and now there won't be enough power to fight this off. It'll be 20 seconds for Che Guang-Guen to hold Ingram. He's making a valiant effort. If he's a little bit further with the roll, and he could have had the Korean in Osai Komi. Just a little bit further. 22 seconds left to go. whilst all this has been going on, the contest between Vilian Silva and Hamza Nadri of Iran is taking place. There's no score in that contest in the plus 100 kilo category. 2 minutes and 47 seconds left there as time ebbs away here. The Korean now taking advantage of being on top in Nevaza and basically just running down the clock here as the time runs out, and it'll be a win for Che Guangwen of the Republic of Korea. But don't worry, we're going to see Ingram again. We'll see him fighting in the repechage contest where there's a chance for a bronze medal. A good effort there from Ingram. Joe Ingram, that is, the other brother. Sam has gone forward, so we'll see both the brothers again, but at different stages. One's going to be in the repechage contest and the other, I think, is in the semi-final. So that's where we are now. And a big hand there from Che Guangwen. He waves to the crowd, and I'm sure degree of support that you get at a Paralympics or an Olympic Games just seems to spread right around everyone. And that was a good effort from Ingram. Well, we've got the next pair of fighters coming into the arena now, and that is on mat number one, Yuan Yanping of China. She faces the Algerian Zubida Bouazoug of Algeria. That's the next contest on mat number 1. Yuan Yanping making her way up the podium, and she'll be on the tatami shortly. Yanping speaks really good English. I had a chat with her on the opening day. She was almost acting as the interpreter. She's a bubbly and bright, jovial character, and she's up against Zubida Bouazoug of Algeria. Well, this contest is being taken care of by Angelika Wilhelm of Germany. Still no score between Vilian Silva of Brazil and Hamza Nadri of Iran. That's in the plus 100 kilo category. There's minute 40 left in that. We've still got some more judo to come. 3 more matches on mat number 2, and we've probably got a little bit more than that on mat number 1. There's the plucky Zubida Bouazoug facing a much bigger looking Yuan Yanping. They're brought back to the middle of the mat, where the referee is going to get them to take a grip again. They take hold now. Yuan Yanping looks perfectly comfortable with any grip that the referee wants to insist that they have. Ponce Onagi, beautifully done. Rosari scored. Well, I'll tell you what, that technique that she just executed there is any heavyweight, any of the heavyweights would be happy to execute that in any form of judo. This is generally considered to be much more difficult because you've got a number of difficulties to overcome, and yet Yan Ping brought that off without too much trouble and made it look good in the bargain. So I think you might be looking at a seriously difficult competitor to deal with here in the Chinese heavyweight. There comes the turnover. Now, how closely can she keep to her opponent in order to put on the Asai Komi? She cannot, and that was good work there from Boazug to manage to defend, because Yan Ping looks pretty powerful. Just looking for a little bit of assistance there was Yan Ping, needing to know exactly where to go. I think that's what she wanted. Just had her head up and was looking around for the referee just to give a bit of guidance. Well, they've got that now, and there's a minute gone as Angelika Wilhelm brings the two fighters back to the middle and then invites them to take a grip, which they do now. And they get back underway with just under 4 minutes left to go. The Chinese leading by Wazari, Yan Ping, who comes in for a big Harai Goshi. Wazari Awazeti Ippon. It is. And Yan Ping raises one hand in celebration. Only a few weeks ago, a Chinese heavyweight competed here, ended up with a bronze medal. I wonder if this particular Chinese heavyweight can go a little bit better in these Paralympics and take something more than bronze. A big hug there from Yan Ping. Toshi it was. Bringing down the Algerian for Ippon. So we're going to see Yan Ping later on this afternoon when we get the final block underway. Just got to check to see exactly what the start time is, and if Katie's husband is in the arena somewhere. Maybe he's got a US flag and he's going to give us a wave and a cheer or say hi somehow. I'm having a look round for him, but we're about to get underway with his wife's contest here in the arena now. She makes her way up the special ramp that's been made for the athletes, and she's escorted into the arena by her coach. And now the Brazilian makes her way to the mat. That's Diane Silva. Heidi Moore takes her seat now and leaves Katie Davis in charge of Angelika Willems, who now escorts the American athlete to the middle of the mat, as does Sonata of Canada escorts the Brazilian to the middle, and now Chai Ling of China takes control of the contest. That's the referee in the middle. Both fighters are now standing in the middle of the competition area. Katie Davis in the white judogi with a red circle on the right arm, USA emblazoned on the back, and they call Hajime, and we're underway. Katie's ponytail flapping around behind her head, and the Brazilian attacking left-sided, but Davis just pushing that off and using her arms to keep the Brazilian out. There's another attack from Diane Silva, but it doesn't really trouble the American, and she blocks that fairly easily. They go to the ground, and the referee calls mate, then stands them back up and brings them to the middle of the mat. 4:41 left on the clock, and calls Hajime. Davis attacks with a rather weak Aragoshi, not really committed to it yet. Looks to get the right hand over and thinking about Makikomi, but that doesn't work. And then Silva thinks about the same thing, but on the other side, and then turns out. Both fighters moving and using the whole of the mat. Davis with a little bit better there with the Ouchigari, a little bit more committed to that, just beginning to work that little bit harder in her attacks. A little bit tight maybe, and a little bit tense. Needs to relax a little bit and then really throw in one of the big attacks to come up with a score. 4:14 left on the clock as the referee restarts things. Davis attempts a drop-sided left to Anagi, but it's not very well controlled, and she ends up in an unfortunate position, and an awkward position, and giving up a Yuko as she's countered and put on her back. But she's strong enough to move the Brazilian out of the competition area, because she was momentarily in Osaikomi. In actual fact, she was being held for 10 seconds there, but managed to wriggle her way out from left to right, as I look at it, out of the contest area, and that ended up with the referee calling mate. So Yuko for the throw is being indicated now. So Katie Davis was brought down initially. They didn't give a score, but they now have. So Yuko on the board for Deanne Silva. I think Davis has defeated Silva previously. She'll need to go some to beat her here. Just needs to get the right hand in a better position. Hasn't got quite where she wants it. She has now. So has Silva, though. And she ducks underneath and is caught again, this time stronger from Silva, and she lands up halfway on her back and gives up Wazari. So the lead now for Silva, Wazari and that Yuko, but there's masses of time on the clock, 3:24, and maybe this will relax Davis a little bit and then get her saying, okay, I'm behind, I'm going to have to go for it. She got tied up there and went over to a left-sided Seonagi from the Brazilian Silva. 3:24 is plenty of time. Silva with too strong a grip as far as the referee is concerned. They're in the middle of the mat now, and the referee calls Hajime now once she's got Silva to relax a little bit. Here comes Davis again, trying to get the right hand high up and on the collar of her Brazilian opponent, but she gets tied up and inside with her own right arm, and eventually she's able to get the arm out, the head free, and settle down a little bit. But they both wander off the far left side of the competition area, and the referee calls mate, takes hold of Katie's right arm and brings her back to the middle of the competition area where Silva awaits, and both fighters take a grip quickly, and the referee is able to call Hajime right away. And now still Katie Davis tries a Makikomi. This is a good position for Davis. She can throw the right leg over, but she holds on one side for too long and realizes that herself, and sportingly moves the arm back over without having to be warned about it. There would have been a warning there, but she realized the rule. Puffing a little bit now, blowing heavily, Katie Davis, as she presses home her attacks. Silva it is now who picks up the passivity warning. The referee's called mate and issues the passivity warning to the Brazilian in blue, Deanne Silva, and now calls Hajime, and we're back underway with 2:38 left on the clock. Davis looking to attack right-sided with the Makikomi, and she does, but she just loses control of the right side and can't quite bring Silva down in a scoring position, and they are about 4 meters away from Heidi Moore, who's screaming encouragement to Davis as she gets to her feet, the referee having called mate, and then brings the fighters back to the middle of the mat. There's 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to run in this contest, and the referee just indicating to the fighters that they should tied up their judogi. So Davis now undoing her belt and having to tidy things up. She's rushing it a little bit, needs to slow down, just take her time, just relax a little bit. Davis from Sacramento, California, way over there on the west coast of the United States of America. Here she is in London. What an experience she must be having here. 2 minutes 19 seconds to go in this contest. Davis looking to go right-sided with the Makikomi. Can't get the right arm where she wants it, and now the Brazilian in a better position to attack, but they wander off to the far right corner of the competition area and they go out of bounds, and the referee calls mate, then brings both fighters back to the middle. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. The fighters take hold very, very quickly, and the referee is able to call hajime almost immediately as soon as they take a grip. It's a good, comfortable grip, and they're both upright, but they wander off to the right side middle of the competition area, and the referee has to call mate again. It's 1 minute and 58 seconds left on the clock as Tai Ling, the referee from Shandong province in China, brings the pair back to the middle. They stand nice and upright and nice and relaxed, and she calls hajime again. Nice sporting work from both these fighters. No posturing at all, and getting on with it very quick. They move smoothly around the mat, and they end up on the far side in the middle, where the Brazilian gets a big grip around Davis's high up on Davis's neck and tries a Koshigaruma, but they were already out of the area, and there's no score as both fighters get back to their feet. Davis looking red in the cheeks with the exertion and blowing a little bit. She sticks out a tongue and licks her dry lips now, and gets prepared to do battle again as the referee brings them back to the middle of the mat, and they take hold. Both fighters ready to go quickly again, and now another good hold from the Brazilian, high up on the collar of Davis. This is dangerous for the American if she can't free herself from this, and she manages to worm out and get away from a difficult situation by exiting the area on the right side middle of the competition of the mat. And now they're back in the middle, where they take hold quickly, and you can really see from that close-up on the shot there the redness in the cheeks of Davis after all of these exertions, and she's trying hard again to find a way to get in a big attack, but Deanne Silva at the moment has just got that little bit more energy. Heidi Moore shouting out instructions to Davis, and now she's just let Davis settle a little bit as the two fighters are back in the middle here taking grips, and the referee calls hajime, and we get back underway. Davis attacking with Ojigari, but doesn't trouble Deanne Silva. Now Davis again with the Ko-Ojigari this time, trying to use the grip that she's got high up on the collar to throw Silva over her right hip. But now this is really physically draining for both fighters. If anything, Deanne Silva looking that little bit stronger. 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. Has been a long time with Silva having this lead, and Davis still trying, looking for an opening, looking to go right-sided there, trying to find there. Now she's got the chance with the right arm nice and high up. There's the minute warning. Right leg goes across, and she almost has enough to bring Silva down. Just couldn't finish that off. Davis gets to her feet, left hand in being held now by Chai Ling, the Chinese referee, as she guides them back to their start points, which she does now, one on the blue strip, and she asks the Brazilian to tidy her gi up. She takes hold of both hands of Katie Davis and just crosses them, letting Katie know that she needs to tidy her gi up, and we get a close-up shot in the camera there of the American coach Heidi Moore, quite calmly and clearly gives some instructions to Davis and informs her that Diane Silva has just been warned for holding on to one side of the gi, which gifts Davis a yuko. So as far as yukos are concerned now, those are tied up. But and there's another yuko now there to Diane Silva, as Davis isn't able to stay on her feet and avoid going to ground, with Silva being in reasonable control. And another yuko goes on the board. So Wazarian 2 yukos to Diane Silva. Koshiguruma, maybe you could say, but it wasn't her original intention, but that's where they ended up. 41 seconds is all that remains for Davis. She comes strong there with a makikomi, can't make it work, comes back with a big hip technique, and now another chance, but with only 30 seconds left to go, and they're on the ground now with Davis covering up, and Diane Silva attacking from Davis's back. The referee doesn't see that anything's going to happen there, so she calls mate and stands the pair up. Davis getting to her feet now. She just manages to climb to her feet and uses her left hand just to wipe her blonde hair away from her forehead and off her face, and then the referee bringing both fighters back to the middle of the mat. There's 20 odd seconds left to go for this contest, and Davis attacks right-sided with Tayatoshi, and then right-sided with Ochigari, and one more Osotogari attempt from Davis on the far side, but they all fail. 3 really big gutsy attacks as time is running out. 8 seconds to go now for Katie Davis, and Diane Silva has really fought this well here. She's stayed in the contest, stayed in the lead under good attacks from the American, as the referee asks Davis to just make sure that the belt is done up tightly for this last exchange. Davis ties the belt now, make sure it's a nice tight knot, and just drops the hand a little bit lower as the referee asks to take a better grip, which he does. Here comes the last attack, maybe one more. Time's run out, and there just isn't sufficient enough time, and there wasn't sufficient enough power from Katie Davis to get past a strong Brazilian Diane Silva, and that one got away from Katie Davis. A really sporting effort there, and a good contest, good heavyweight battle between this pair, and on this occasion Diane Silva takes the contest. Referee gives the decision. The 2 fighters step forward and bow, and then they have a handshake and a hug, and then the 2 corner judges come back to take hold of both fighters and lead them off the competition area and over to the waiting coaches. Left arm as they walk down the ramp and exit the competition area, and a really big round of applause from the remaining crowd in here. Really generous support. Thanks very much for everyone in here, because that was a good contest. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And now the next pair of competitors take their or make their way up the ramp. It's Akin Nazan of Turkey. Beg your pardon. Yes, it is. Yeah. Nazan Akin of Turkey, and she faces Ivomira Mihailova of Bulgaria. David Stanley is in the middle for this contest. A big chair goes up for the Turkish fighter, Nazan Akin. She gives a wave and punches the air as she steps forward. And she's up against Ivomira Mihailova of Bulgaria, who bows as she comes onto the contest area, and both the corner judges. Hand over their fighters to the referee, who invites the fighters to step forward to take hold, and then once he's happy that they're nice and relaxed, he calls Hajime, and we get underway with this plus 78 kilo category, and they go immediately to ground, where the Bulgarian Mikhailova is defending against an attempted shimiwaza, attempted strangle from Nazan Akin of Turkey. There's another buzzer going off, and that's from the adjoining mat, and that has to do with Montero of Venezuela and Wang Song of China. It's the Chinese who leads there. He's just thrown Montero actually for a second Wazari, and there was already the Wazari from penalties on the board, so Sogogachi it is. Wang Song winning there. Technique attempted there by the Turkish fighter, bringing up a Yuko Nazan Akin, scoring there. 4:25 left on the clock as the referee brings the fighters back to the middle. This is in the plus 70 kilo category. And he calls Hajime, and we're underway again with Nazan Akin attacking there with Ojigari. Mikhailova needs her opponent to be nice and close in, so that she can get a feel for exactly where she is. That way she can launch some of her attacks. The referee leads the fighters back to the start point, where they're brought back to the middle of the mat. You take a grip, and the referee is referee's happy that the stance is okay and that they're comfortable enough, and he calls Hajime. Yuko off a hip technique from the Turkish fighter Nazan Akin, so she goes further ahead. 2 Yukos now, the lead. That's on mat number 1. They go to the near side of the competition area, and the referee calls mate, stands them back up after the hip technique had scored Yuko for Nazan Akin, and they are back in the middle of the mat, where the referee is now giving Mikhailova a passivity warning, and she acknowledges that fact, and they take hold again. At the same time on mat number 2, Tony Walby of Canada has begun his contest with Jimenez of Cuba. That one's just got underway in the plus 100 kilo category. Just the 2 contests left on mat 2 now. This one, Walby and Jimenez, Dominguez and Zakiev and Masaki to follow. Mikhailova taking a little bit of time to get to her feet. Let's hope that she's okay. It's going to put a bit of weight on the right leg for the first time as she walks back to her start point. It's a little bit more comfortable than it was when she first looked to get to her feet. Now she takes a grip of her opponent, and the referee calls hejime, and they get back underway. Turkish fighter throws in another hip technique, but it's unsuccessful, and the referee calls mate once the two fighters separate from each other and there's no longer a grip. And he leads both the fighters back to the middle of the mat and to their start points, with the Turkish fighter taking her spot on the white spot. She's in the white judogi, and the Bulgarian taking her spot on the blue piece of tape that's placed there and indicating where they should stand. Well, she's just received a passivity warning, so there are now 3 yukos on the board for the Turkish fighter. And another one goes on the board after that left-sided hip technique attempt there from Akin. So a good lead built up here by the Turkish fighter. And Mihailova not quite up to getting off one of her own attacks yet. The referee calls hejime, and we're back underway. Again, the Turkish fighter going left-sided. She hasn't quite come up with a score on this occasion, and now she's got a chance to attack in Nevaza. First of all, she tries to work a strangle. And it's not there, so the referee calls mate and stands the pair back up. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go. It's the Turkish fighter Nazan Akin leading by 4 yukos here. And she's going to have to get busy here, is Mihailova, because one more penalty and she's going to lose out. Just not being able to keep up with the pace. Maybe the knee injury is troubling her a little bit, but she really needs to get going here. 2 minutes and 30 odd seconds left to go. She's fighting a busy little Nazan Akin, and he's already put in 4 scoring attacks as the Turkish fighter, and then of 3 scoring attacks, and then that penalty is what has done for the 3rd yuko. The referee's got both fighters in the middle of the mat, and he's just guiding Mihailova back to the middle of the mat, where he'll invite them to take hold before calling hejime. He does now. We're back underway with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock. Mihailova really needs to get an attack in here, and she does with a makikomi, but she hasn't got enough of the arm, and Akin is able to block that without too much trouble. And then she's attempting a turnover, but it's not a technically adept one, and the referee realizes that it's not going anywhere. He calls mate, and you'll stand the 2 fighters up and then bring them back to the middle of the mat. 2 minutes left in this contest between Akin and Mihailova. Referee calls hejime, and we're back underway, and there's another left-sided hip technique attempted by Akin. This time it doesn't score, and she just has to defend on the ground, and the referee calls mate, stands both the fighters up and brings them back to the middle of the mat, and he invites Akin to come forward, and they engage again, so there won't be a match-ending Shido here. Minute 54 left to go. This time the Turkish fighter with the Koshiguruma attempt, it doesn't come off, but I think this may be it now for Ivomira Mikhailova, and the referee is likely to call an end to this. Haven't seen enough attacking intent from the Bulgarian Mihailova, and as a result I think he's going to issue the final penalty, and then Sakumake it'll be. You need to keep up a good rate of attacks, and unfortunately for Mihailova she hasn't, and she's going to be penalised out of this. So Nazin Akan of Turkey takes that contest over Ivomira Mikhailova of Bulgaria. Just to let you know what's happening with Tony Walby of Canada on mat number 2. He's up against Jimenez of Nazan Akin. Leaves the competition area. And the next two competitors to take to mat number 1, Céline Manzuoli of France, and she faces Irina Kalyanova of Russia. Manzuoli of France in the white judogi, and Kalyanova of Russia in blue. Both fighters now are in the middle of the competition area and ready to get underway. We're talking about Céline Manzuoli of France and Irina Kalyanova of Russia. It's Manzuoli in the white judogi and Kalyanova in blue. Well, we're underway, and both fighters move quickly over to the far right corner of the competition area, where the battle continues, and they move quite smoothly across the mat. And there's a slightly weak attack there from Kalyanova. It doesn't result in any trouble to her French opponent, and Manzuoli attempts a couple of little pulls in Nevaza before the referee calls mate, stands them up, and then brings them back to the middle of the mat. A few of the Russian fighters are cheering on Kalyanova. I saw on the right side, if I remember rightly from that shot, Kurbanov, the bronze medalist from the under 73 kilo category, and the bronze medalist from the under 48 kilo category, Victoria Potapova. Yeah, Potapova. We're back underway in this under 70 kilo category, plus 70 kilo category. There is no 78, so it's plus 70. And no score yet between Irina Kalyanova of Russia and Celine Manzuoli of Italy. It's the Russian who's on her front now, stretched out, defending in Nivaza, and Manzuoli not able to make any headway there. So the referee calls mate and stands the fighters back up. They're in the middle of the mat now and taking hold, just making sure that no fighter has an advantage. That's the referee, Gary Berlanen, and he calls Hajime, and they get underway. They're in the middle of the mat now, and then as I say that, they move towards our commentary position and closer in on the red safety area, or the danger area, beg your pardon. The safety area is coloured green here. 5 meters of green mats cover the safety area as Kalyanova attempts to roll Manzuoli onto her back, but without any success, and they only succeed in rolling out of the competition area, which has the referee calling mate and then bringing them back to the middle. And he brings the fighters back and has them stand close to each other, facing each other, and then instructs them to take a grip. And from that grip we can determine whether it's fair and appropriate, and then when he's satisfied that it is, he calls Hajime, and the two fighters get underway and they move off towards the far left side of the competition area. There's just been a huge ippon on mat number 2. Kento Masaki of Japan throwing Ilham Zakiev of Azerbaijan. Well, that Nivaza exchange between Manzuoli and Kalyanova didn't result in anything, so the referee called mate. He stood them back up, and he's brought them back to the middle of the mat, where Kalyanova takes the opportunity to tidy her own gi up before Manzuoli steps forward in order to take a grip, and then once they've taken a grip, the referee calls Hajime, and we're back underway now, with both fighters moving off towards the far side of the tatami, immediately in front of the scoreboard, and they're just on the danger area at the moment when Kalyanova attempts a left-sided Taitoshi that fails. Having failed, they collapse to the tatami, and Manzuoli is not able to make any headway on the ground, and the referee calls mate, has them standing up, and then brings them back to the middle of the mat. Half the contest gone then, so the clock showing 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the time remaining in this match between Manzuoli and Kalyanova. No score yet, and it's Manzuoli with a slightly more advantageous hold or grip at the moment. She goes over the back to hold the belt, and it's a nice neat attack from the Russian Kosodagaki. Kosodagaki failed, and Manzuoli almost turned her opponent, but wasn't good enough for a score. There's the Kosodagaki. I wonder what they will do here, because I don't think that the co-ordinates was effective from Kalyanova. Yuko 2. Yeah, Manzuoli had the Yuko, that's right. But it wasn't Kalyanova. And that's what I thought that the original signal was for. But here is the difficulty. If the referee signals Yuko, and he thinks it's a Yuko white, but the scoreboard operator puts it Yuko blue, then it looks as though the referee's made a mistake. But obviously he hadn't. He had wanted the score to go to white, but they'd put it up on the wrong way. So that wasn't a referee error. And the score goes to the right, or the correct fighter. In this case, it's Céline Manzuoli, who takes the lead here with minute 46 left to go. Both fighters are on the ground now, with Kalyanova attacking Manzuoli, but neither of these fighters have been able to generate anything on the ground, and for the most part, every time they go to ground, the referees had to call mate fairly quickly. They're about to take a grip now. The referee just making sure that no one has an advantage over the other, and then he calls Hajime, and we get back underway with a minute 19 left to go. I haven't seen a really nice scoring technique yet. That would be nice if one of these could pull something out of the bag. There's still just a little over a minute left to go, and the Russian Kalyanova beginning to look threatening with the left hand around the waist. Well, she hasn't got that on the belt, which she has now, and once she has that, she needs to go. She can't hold on it for too long. Great counter, absolutely super counter from Manzuoli, as the Russian attempted the ko-ordinates, left that open for an Uchimata counter, and that's exactly what took place there. A left-sided ko-ordinates attempt from Irina Kalyanova was countered with the right-sided Uchimata from Céline Manzuoli of France, and it's the French girl who's given the ippon. No doubt about that, and I'm glad that I got the Waza identification correct for you on the sides. Sometimes things happen so quickly you don't often get it all correct. That one was of Iran. They're about to get underway there in the plus 100 kilo category. Coming into the arena now, Alexander Pominov of the Ukraine faces Ganbat Dashtirin of Mongolia. This is in the repechage round in the under 90 kilo category. Both fighters making their way up the ramp now. This has been an extremely successful competition for the Ukrainian team. They would really like to add another medal to this one. They've still got a chance, because the winner of this contest could fight for bronze, and I fancy the Ukrainian in this, Pominov. I just think that Ganbat Dashtseren has got a little bit of work to do. Maybe this is a bridge too far for him. Both fighters now in the middle of the mat, and they take hold. The referee will just make sure that there is no advantage one way or the other before he calls Hajime, and we get underway. He likes the look of it, and he calls Hajime now, and the Mongolian immediately attacking right-sided, but he loses control with the right hand, and the Ukrainian just falls on top of the Mongolian's back as he tried to go right-sided. The referee's brought them back to the middle and called Hajime, where they've started again, and now they move quite quickly for big guys in 90 kilos. Looking for an opening now, and the Ukrainian tries a foot sweep there, Pominov, and then tries drop Marotti Seanagi, but that doesn't come off, and once it fails, even though they hadn't quite lost contact, the referee calls mate, and they stand up again. He brings them to the middle and just checks the grips. And then calls Hajime. They're underway again. They swap attempted foot sweeps, and the Mongolian had the right feeling there. He tries the Uchimata, but there's no score. He had an initial go at an Ouchigari, but that didn't work, and then he came back a split second later, attacking with Uchimata, and that was a better attempt. Referee calls Hajime again, and again the Mongolian looking to go right-sided with the leg technique. Gives the Ukrainian's right foot a little tap with his left, and a nice effort there from the Ukrainian, but not Yuko. .357 left to go. Just making sure that the fighters are upright before getting underway. And again, right-sided attempt. Yes, that's going to score there. Wazari. It was a combination that put the Ukrainian onto his back. The first part was the Ouchigari. No, beg your pardon. It was the first part was a hip technique, looking to bring his opponent forward, and then he brought the other right leg inside for a Ouchigari. That's what brought Pominov down in the end. So Wazari the lead for Ganbat Dashtseren, and then trying a range of foot techniques, getting nice and brave. First of all, going right-sided and then left, trying to sweep his opponent's legs away, but neither of those attacks worked. But they were good, strong attacks, and Dashtseren is keeping up the pressure on Pominov. Pominov picks up a passivity warning now, but still that Wazari lead to Dashtseren, Ganbat Dashtseren. 3 minutes and 34 seconds left to go there, and there's still no score in the contest between Pap Gabor and Hamzeh Nadri of Iran on mat number 2 in the plus 100 kilo category. A nice passage here between the Mongolian and the Ukrainian. Both fighters really attacking strongly, but it's the Mongolian who leads at the moment by Wazari. They're back in the middle of the mat, and the referee makes sure that the hold is correct and then calls Hajime, and we're underway with the Mongolian looking to go right-sided. Again, the Ukrainians slightly weary now in defensive. Beautiful Osotagari from Dashtseren, throwing Pominov for Ippon. Very powerful throw by the Mongolian there. Let's look at the footwork here. Yeah, doesn't really get the sweep going. That's the action that he wanted. Osotagari took a step with his left outside and then brought the right through. That planted on the ground behind, but the upper body was so strong that he didn't need to really sweep with the leg. It's a win there for Kanbat Dashtseren. Was in the under 90 kilo category. We've got another contest to bring you now on Mat Nav Iran. That contest now has gone into golden score. I think there have been more golden scores today than there have been in the whole 3 days, or the first 2 days anyway. There's Alessandro Gonzalez Tapia of Mexico. He's waiting for Hani Askare to take to the mat. Yeah, it's got a feeling that Hani Askare might be a little bit too much for Gonzalez Tapia to handle. I could be wrong. We're moments away from finding out. Corner judges escort the two fighters to the middle of the mat, where they're left in the charge of the referee, who on this occasion is from Canada. It's Guy Sunada of Canada. Comes from Calgary, out there in the out west. Just making sure that everything is right before he calls Hajime, and he does now. And we're underway with this under 90 kilo category repechage contest, and the Mexican not as tight with that as possible. A little bit loose in that exchange there. He's ended up in Osaekomi. Kamisho Gatami is the hold there from the Iranian. Just had a feeling when they were walking out here that this might happen. Hani Askare is a strong opponent and was unlucky to lose his first contest, but he's made up for it there by overcoming the Mexican in the repechage contest. And that's a win for Hani Askare over Alejandro Gonzalez Tapia of Mexico. The Iranian takes this and he goes into the next round. Confirmation there from the stadium announcer about the result of that particular contest. He was just a little bit weak with that Tomoe, and then his defense, well, that was pretty poor, wasn't he? Because he got past that without too much trouble. You really need to be able to use your legs to guard against that attack, and he wasn't able to. Hani Askere comes off the winner. And his teammate Hamzin Nadri has also won down on mat number 3. So 2 wins for Iran back to back on under 70 kilo category. Jabo Nicolet of Hungary. And okay, I'm going to have to miss that one because the graphic's gone. Oh, and this is in the under 90 kilo category. Cuban will face the Russian, and Sam Ingram of Great Britain faces Jorge Lencina of Argentina. Jorge Herezuelo Marcilis of Cuba faces Oleg Kretzel of Russia in the first semi-final. That's in the under 90 kilo category. In the under 100 kilo category, Vladimir Fedin of Russia will face Miles Porter of the United States of America, and Hamid Alizadeh of Iran faces Choi Kwang-kwen of the Republic of Korea. That's the semi-final lineup there. In the women's plus 70 kilo category, Yuan Yanping of China faces Diane Silva of Brazil, and Nazan Akin of Turkey will face Celine Manzuoli of France. Well, here's the contest between Park Jung-min of the Republic of Korea and in London, and we're underway, and there's an immediate Makikomi attempted attack from Park Jun-min, but his hands break from his opponent, and as a result of there being no contact, the referee calls mate and has them back in the middle where he can restart. That took all of 6 seconds. Sorry, 4 seconds. Shimmy has been called. We're back underway. Both fighters now moving off towards the far right corner. And the Koso Tagaki left-sided attempt from the Korean Park Jung-min brings Montero down on his back and immediately into the Osai Komi. Munigatami is the hole. That's where the top half of the body, the Korean, off to the side, holding the Venezuelan on his back, and the Venezuelan very strongly lifting his opponent up, but the Korean moved over to the right side and had the hold on the opposite side there to finish the contest off. He only needed to hold him for 20 seconds, having already scored Wazari, and that brought the contest to an end. So it's a win for Park Jung-min of the Republic of Korea over Williams Montero of Venezuela, and that brings a close to the first part of the action here at the Excel Arena in London on this final day of competition at the Paralympics in London. So we look forward to your company a little bit later on when we bring you more action and all the medal matches, of course, here later this afternoon. Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, on table 1, it's a Class 2 match representing the Russian Federation, Sergei Podobny. Representing France, Vincent Bourry. Your umpire is Russell Sutcliffe from Great Britain, and the assistant umpire Derek Sherratt from Great Britain. London 2012 Paralympic Games. On table 4, it's a Class 8 match representing Poland, Martin Skuznecki. Representing Great Britain, Ross Wilson. Your umpire is Lee Sun-ju from the Republic of Korea, and the assistant umpire Leonor De Mario from Brazil. London 2012 Paralympic Games.
Okay, this is Alison Grove here for your second Class 2 men's wheelchair match. We have Sergei Podobny from Russia and Vincent Bourry from France. Bourry, ranked number 4, the Russian, ranked number 9. Frenchman now. 3-1 up. Going for the up and under. Wonderful backspin there, making it impossible for the Russian. Great angle on the forehand side.
Yes. 1-6. Yes. 7-1.
Again, wide to the forehand. French player now commanding 6-point lead. Wonderful play there. Taking the ball early, 9-2. Nearly got that net back.
Ladies and gentlemen, on table 3 we have a Class 2 match about to get underway for you, representing the Republic of Korea, Kim Min-ju. Representing France, Fabien Lamiro. Your umpire is Yelena Karstedt from the United States of America, and the assistant umpire, Igor Borodavchenko from the Russian Federation. London 2012 Paralympic Games.
So that's 6 game points.
11-4.
London 2012 Paralympic Games.
Taking this first end, 11-4. Rory's ranked number 4 in the world. Won a gold medal in the singles event. 2008 Beijing Paralympics. Also won a silver event in the team event. His day job is he's a conference speaker about elite sport values. His hobbies include off-road wheelchair and wine testing. His Russian opponent, ranked number 9 in the world. His hobbies include travelling. He won the World Championships in 2010 and has been national champion 14 times. He's also won the European Championship, so both of these players highly experienced.
Singing. Podobnie to serve. Level. Yes. Level. One all. Yes. 2-1. Two all. 22.
Yes.
Difficult to tell.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, good. 2-4.